All right, so get this. We're going deep on a podcast episode, like really deep. It's all about making the most of your 20s. You know that time when like every decision feels huge, like
Yeah.
it'll echo forever? We're breaking down winning your 20s, the blueprint for a life without regrets. And honestly, it's way more than just fluffy follow your dream stuff. We're after real actionable advice.
Yeah, exactly. The stuff that'll save you from those, what was I thinking back then, moments years down the road.
Exactly. Because let's be real, your 20s, they can feel like a total free-for-all.
It's funny, we think of our 20s as carefree, but the choices you make then, they set you up for so much that comes after. This podcast really digs into that, how to make those choices count.
It does, it really does. And get this, it all starts with something that seems so basic, but it's easy to miss when you're in the thick of your 20s.
What's that?
Self-awareness.
Oh, interesting. What I like is that it acknowledges how much you change during your 20s. It's not just figure yourself out now, but more like build a system to keep checking in as you grow, like a feedback loop for your life almost.
Totally. They even have this super practical thing they tell you to do. Write down, like literally write down what excites you, what you're naturally good at.
I like this already.
Yeah. And those big, scary life goals you have. But here's the thing. Don't just like put it away in a drawer and forget about it.
Right.
Look at it again and again, like regularly, because a year from now, you might be surprised at how different you feel about things.
Oh, for sure. That's the whole point, isn't it? You don't have all the answers at 22. It's about realizing you can change your mind,
Yeah.
your goals, even discover new passions.
Like you're allowed to evolve,
Yeah.
you know?
Exactly. The podcast is all about trying new things, not just for the experience, but to figure out, does this fit? Does this not fit? It's like actively shaping who you are instead of just letting life happen to you.
I love that. So, okay, you have a better idea of who you are, maybe where you're headed. The podcast then throws out this idea of finding your giant. I love that analogy, right? Because it's like finding a mentor, someone who's already walked a path similar to yours.
Makes sense. And they really hammer home the why behind it. It's not just somebody to answer your questions. It's tapping into their experience, their wisdom. Think about it. You could avoid so many mistakes, save years of trial and error.
Oh, totally, right.
It's like having a cheat code for success almost.
Yeah, like that friend who's already beaten the level of the video game you're stuck on. They
Right.
know the shortcuts, the secret moves, all that.
But here's the thing. They warn you. Not all mentors are created equal. It's not just about finding someone successful. It's about finding someone who gets you, who shares your values. They say do your research, but in the end, trust your gut. Do they feel right? Do their values match yours? That's key for a good mentorship.
Totally. Okay, this next point, it really hit home for me. Love the struggle. It's so tempting, especially in your 20s, to think success should be effortless.
Especially nowadays, everyone makes it look easy.
Yeah, like if you're passionate, it should just flow, right?
Right.
But this podcast, it flips that whole script.
How so?
Well, they don't just say work hard.
Right.
They say struggle is like necessary.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's part of growth.
Oh, I see.
They even say this, and it stuck with me. Struggle isn't a punishment. It's a stepping stone to becoming unbeatable.
Wow, that's good.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all about changing how you think about challenges. See them as chances to build resilience, to get gritty, to become that person who can handle anything.
Makes sense.
Because anyone who's actually achieved something meaningful, they've had obstacles.
Oh, for sure.
It's about how you approach those obstacles that matters.
Right.
Do you see them as roadblocks or as levels to beat in the game? And think about it in your own life. I bet you can think of times when a challenge actually made you stronger, more capable.
Yeah, I can actually, now that you mention it.
It's in those tough moments we often find out what we're really made of.
True.
Okay, this next one may be the hardest to swallow, especially now, with everything being so instant.
What's that?
Delaying the prize.
Okay.
The podcast makes a really strong argument for resisting those impulses that feel good now, but mess up your long-term goals.
I can see how that'd be tough.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
And it's not just about not buying that thing you want right this second, though that's part of it.
Right.
It's deeper. It's about realizing that sometimes the choices that feel good now, they're not the ones that'll help you later. It's like choosing your future self over your present self.
Interesting.
Yeah. They have this really concrete example. Instead of blowing extra money on something you'll forget next week, what if you put that money into an investment,
Oh, I see.
right? Like stocks or even just a retirement fund.
Yeah, long-term thinking,
Exactly. It might not be as fun in the moment,
Sure.
but the payoff down the line, huge.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit. Talk about skills.
Skills.
So podcast is pretty strong on this. Get skills, not just jobs. It's
I-
easy to get caught up in the job hunt, right?
Oh, yeah, especially in your 20s.
Yeah, wanting that fancy title, that specific position.
Well,
But they're saying focus on what you can do, the skills you build. That's what makes you adaptable, valuable.
Makes sense. The job market changes so fast these days.
Exactly. They even talk about skills like learning how to learn quickly. That sounds weird, but it's a real thing.
It is.
Being a good communicator, problem solver, thinking critically, being able to adapt, all that.
I see.
These are things that apply to any job, no matter what the market's doing.
Smart.
They're not saying avoid getting a job. Of course, a job gives you experience, money, connections, all that. But be picky about the jobs you take. Ask yourself, what will I learn here? How will this make me more employable in the future?
That's a great question to ask.
It is. Okay, now for something a bit more, I don't know, daring, taking risks.
Okay, lay it on me.
No, I'm not talking about crazy stuff like jumping out of planes,
Right.
but calculated risks, the kind that can really push you forward, especially when you're young.
Yeah, in your 20s, you have more freedom to experiment.
Exactly.
Less to lose, usually.
The podcast isn't saying be reckless. It's about being smart about the risks you take.
Makes sense.
They have this question they want you to ask yourself. What's the worst that could happen, and can I handle it?
Interesting.
If you can say yes to that.
Then it might be a risk worth taking.
Exactly.
I like that.
It makes you really think things through, assess the downsides, but also recognize that sometimes the biggest rewards come from stepping outside that comfort zone.
This is true.
All right, this next one might seem a bit counterintuitive.
Mm.
Embrace failure.
Failure. Okay, I'm listening.
It's so easy to be terrified of messing up, of not getting things right.
Oh, yeah, especially when you're starting out.
But this podcast, they're saying failure is not the opposite of success.
Really?
It's part of it.
Interesting.
What's wild is they don't just say, don't be scared to fail.
Oh,
They want you to see failure as feedback.
okay. How so?
Every mistake, every setback, it's a chance to learn, to adjust course, become more resilient.
I've never thought of it that way.
It's like a course correction on your GPS.
I see.
You might have taken a wrong turn, but now you're back on track and you learned something.
That's a good analogy.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so easy to beat ourselves up when we mess up.
Oh, totally.
But what if we saw them as data points, information that helps us get closer to our goals?
Makes you less afraid to try things.
Exactly.
I like it.
And think about like really successful people. They often talk about how their biggest failures taught them the most valuable lessons.
Oh, that's true.
It's those moments that force you to get creative, to adapt, to come back stronger.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Talk about something that can get neglected in the hustle of our 20s.
What's that?
Our health.
Health. Yeah, that's important.
The podcast uses this phrase, be a body mechanic, which I love.
Be a body mechanic.
It's about taking care of your physical well-being like you would a car.
Okay, I see.
And they tie this directly to success.
How so?
It's not just about looking good. It's about optimizing your energy, focus, resilience. Those are essential for achieving anything.
Yeah, totally.
They highlight things like regular exercise, not just for fitness, but for mental clarity, stress reduction.
Oh, yeah. Exercise is huge for that.
It is. Clean eating, fueling your body with good stuff so your brain works better.
Right. Food is fuel.
And of course, sleep, which so many of us skimp on.
Oh, tell me about it.
It's not just trendy wellness stuff. There's
Yeah.
tons of science behind it.
Yeah, it all affects how you feel, how you think,
Yeah.
even your long-term health.
Absolutely. Okay, last one for this part, but it's a biggie.
Hear me.
Comparison.
Oh, comparison. That's a tough one.
It's a trap, especially in your 20s with social media and all.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's always showing their highlight reel.
Exactly. The podcast is all about hyper-focusing on why you, tuning out the noise, resisting that urge to measure yourself against others.
Why do they think that's so important?
Because comparison steals your joy.
Steals your joy.
It distracts you from your own path, makes you doubt yourself, feel envious, never good enough. The message is define success on your terms, not by someone else's standards.
That's powerful.
It is. Your journey is unique.
Yeah.
Your timeline, goals, values, they're all yours.
So instead of getting caught up in what everyone else is doing,
Exactly.
you should ask yourself, what matters to me? What do I want to achieve? What kind of life do I want?
You got it.
That's a whole different way of looking at things.
It is. It really is. Okay, we've covered a lot already, I know. From self-awareness to mentorship to embracing failure, prioritizing your health, even
It's a lot to think about.
it is. But hold on tight because there's more wisdom where that came from. We'll be back with part 2 of our deep dive into winning your 20s.
You know, it's interesting. The podcast really makes the point that self-awareness isn't just a one-time thing. It's something you got to keep working on. Making sure, like, what you're doing matches up with what you believe and what you want, even as those things change.
Oh, totally. Like that saying, the only constant is change, right? Especially in your 20s. Speaking of change, the next thing they talk about is the power of saying no.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah, it might seem weird, especially when you're young and want to grab every opportunity.
Right, like say yes to everything.
But they make a good case for being picky with your time, your energy, because every yes to one thing is a no to something else.
That's true.
They even say make a not-to-do list along with your to-do list.
And not to-do list.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
It's about figuring out those things that drain you, distract you from your goals, or just don't fit your values.
So it's like decluttering your schedule,
Okay.
making space for what really matters.
Yeah.
And this goes back to self-awareness. The better you know what's important to you, the easier it is to decide what deserves a yes and what gets a no, even if it's hard to say.
Makes sense.
They even say, practice saying no in the mirror.
In the mirror.
I know, it sounds kind of silly.
Yeah.
But I get it. It could help you get more comfortable, especially if you're a people pleaser.
It's not about being mean or anything.
No, not at all.
It's about valuing yourself enough to protect your time and energy,
Exactly.
realizing you can't do it all. And that's okay.
It is. You know, one thing I like about this podcast is they don't pretend it's all going to be sunshine and rainbows.
Oh, yeah?
They get real about the tough stuff.
Like what?
The challenges you're going to face, the setbacks, failures, those moments when you doubt yourself.
Oh, for sure. Those happen to everyone.
It's easy to fall for the trap of thinking everyone else has it figured out, especially online.
Social media, yeah.
But the truth is, we all struggle. We all make mistakes. We all have moments of, wait, can I actually do this?
That's reassuring to hear that, actually.
It is. They even talk about how in your 20s, you're still developing that emotional resilience.
Resilience, okay.
That ability to bounce back, to keep going even when it gets tough.
Like a muscle you have to build.
Exactly.
So the podcast is saying those tough times, they're actually chances to get stronger.
Right.
It's not about beating yourself up for messing up. It's more like, okay, what did I learn? How could I use this to get better at handling things?
I love that. And they also talk about having a support system, people who believe in you, who you can lean on when you're doubting yourself.
Having those people makes a huge difference.
It does.
That's like building a team, you know?
Yeah, a team for life.
Exactly.
Friends, mentors, family, even online communities.
Places where you feel safe to be yourself, to share the struggles and the wins.
Humans are social creatures. We need that connection.
We do.
Especially when you're going through all the ups and downs of your 20s.
So true.
One thing that really stood out to me was how much they emphasize exploration, like really experimenting in your 20s.
Experimenting. Okay.
Trying new things, pushing your boundaries, finding out what truly excites you.
I like that.
And it's not just about your career, though that's a big part.
Right.
It's about hobbies, relationships, travel, personal growth, anything that makes you curious.
Like they're on this big adventure trying on different hats.
Exactly.
And that helps you figure out what fits, what you like, what you don't like.
Right. It's like gathering clues to build the life you really want.
That's a cool way to think about it.
Okay, let's get practical for a sec.
Okay, I'm ready.
Financial literacy.
Oh, money stuff.
The podcast spends a good chunk of time on this.
The stuff they don't really teach you in school.
Exactly.
Like how to budget, save, invest, all that.
Yeah, and it's not about becoming some Wall Street guru overnight.
Right.
It's about starting small, building good habits early on, taking control of your money instead of letting it control you.
I like that.
They say, start simple.
How?
Make a budget, track where your money's going each month.
Okay. Basic, but important.
They also talk about paying yourself first, meaning put some money aside for savings before you pay bills or buy anything fun.
Interesting.
It's a mindset shift.
From spending what's left to saving first.
Exactly.
And then you spend what's left.
You got it.
Smart.
They even touch on investing.
Investing can be scary.
It can be, but they break it down. Simple stuff like diversifying your portfolio, taking advantage of compounding.
And you don't have to be an expert to get started.
Right. There are apps, courses, even advisors who can help.
Yeah, there are a lot of resources out there these days.
Okay, one thing I loved was how this podcast challenges the idea of what success even means.
Oh, yeah. How so?
It's not just about the 9 to 5 grind, climbing the corporate ladder. They encourage you to explore different paths, maybe something more fulfilling.
Finding your purpose, not just a job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're realistic. It's probably not going to be a straight line.
Right. There'll be detours, maybe some dead ends,
For sure.
but that's part of it.
It is. They talk about entrepreneurship, the gig economy, all the options to create your own thing.
It's easier than ever to start a business now with all the technology.
So
You
true.
can reach people all over the world.
They even suggest starting small, like a side hustle, while you still have a regular job. Test your ideas, build gradually.
That's a good way to do it. Less risky.
Okay, let's talk about something essential for a good life, no matter what path you choose. Relationships.
Relationships, yeah, those are important.
And they're not just talking romantic relationships, friendships, family, professional connections, all of it.
It's about building your community.
Exactly.
Those people who enrich your life, make you laugh, support you.
They say be mindful of who you spend your time with.
Make sure it's people who respect you, who you trust, who share your values.
They even talk about setting boundaries in relationships, communicating your needs, not being afraid to walk away if a connection isn't healthy anymore.
That's important, but it can be hard.
It can be, but it's worth it. Okay, this one's a biggie for a lot of people in their 20s.
What's that?
Finding your purpose.
Oh, yeah, that's a loaded question.
It is. It can feel like this huge pressure to figure out your life's calling, like right now.
I remember feeling that way.
But the podcast has a different take. They say it's not necessarily about having this grand plan, this specific career path mapped out.
Okay, so what is it about?
It's more about exploring your interests, trying things out, paying attention to what makes you feel passionate.
Like following your curiosity and
Exactly.
seeing where it leads.
And your purpose might change over time. It's not some fixed point you have to reach.
Makes sense. We're always growing and evolving.
Okay, let's talk about a skill that's super important in today's world.
Okay, which one?
Communication.
Communication. Yeah, that's crucial.
And it's not just about being a smooth talker or giving killer presentations.
Right, there's more to it than that.
It's about being able to express your thoughts and ideas clearly so people get you.
Both when you're talking and writing.
Exactly.
That makes a big difference.
It does. They talk about practicing your communication skills.
Practice makes perfect, right?
Exactly.
So like give presentations, network,
Yeah.
even just have meaningful conversations.
All of that.
And really listen when other people are talking.
Oh, active listening. That's huge.
Is
Showing them you're paying attention, that you understand and respect what they're saying.
builds trust and connection.
Okay, let's get a bit old school for a sec.
Old school. Okay.
Work ethic.
Work ethic. Interesting.
I know it might sound outdated,
Yeah, in the age of hustle culture and all that.
but they make a strong argument for why it still matters.
Lay to me.
It's not just about showing up on time and doing what's asked of you.
Okay, so there's more to it.
It's about going above and beyond.
Going above and beyond.
Taking initiative, being reliable, accountable, always aiming for your best work.
That's a high bar.
It is, but it pays off.
How so?
They talk about building a reputation for being someone who gets things done,
Reliable, high-quality work.
someone people can count on. And that applies to everything, not just your job.
Your personal life, too.
Exactly.
Being the kind of person who shows up fully, no matter what.
Okay, this next one is all about giving back.
Giving back, I like that.
Making a positive impact on the world around you.
That doesn't have to be some huge, grand gesture.
No, not at all.
Even small things can make a difference.
Find a cause you care about, something that aligns with your values.
Right, something you're passionate about.
Exactly.
And then contribute your time, your skills, even a little bit of money.
It all adds up.
Makes you feel good, too.
Okay, let's be real for a sec. Your 20s can be stressful.
Oh, yeah.
Juggling work, relationships, money, trying to figure out life.
That's a lot.
The podcast acknowledges that. They talk about developing healthy ways to cope with stress.
Okay, like what?
They mention exercise, not just for fitness, but to clear your head, reduce anxiety.
Exercise is good for that.
It really is. Mindfulness practices too, like meditation, deep breathing.
Oh, those can be helpful.
Anything that helps you calm down, be more present in the moment.
And having a supportive environment.
Oh, that's huge.
People who lift you up, activities that bring you joy.
It's about being proactive, taking care of yourself.
Makes sense.
And they say, it's okay to ask for help when you need it.
Oh, that's so important.
It is.
Therapy, talking to a friend, whatever works for you.
There's no shame in reaching out.
No shame at all.
Okay, let's talk about something fun.
Fun. Okay.
Travel,
Travel. Yeah, that's always good.
experiencing new cultures.
Expanding your horizons.
Exactly.
And it doesn't have to be some fancy trip.
No, not at all.
It's about embracing that adventurous spirit, trying new things, seeing the world from different perspectives.
They talk about the value of getting outside your comfort zone, immersing yourself in different cultures.
Meeting new people, trying new foods, all that.
Be open-minded, willing to learn, and most importantly, connect with people from different backgrounds.
Sounds like an adventure.
It is. Okay, now for something that can be both exciting and nerve-wracking in your 20s.
What's that?
Dating and relationships.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole other topic.
The podcast is refreshingly honest about it. They acknowledge there'll be ups and downs, heartbreak. It takes time to find the right person.
It does.
They say, approach dating with curiosity.
Curiosity, okay.
Be open to meeting new people. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there.
Easier said than done sometimes.
It is. But also, know your worth, set boundaries, don't settle for less than you deserve.
Don't settle. Good advice.
Okay, this one might seem negative at first, but it's not.
What is it?
Rejection,
Rejection. Oh, yeah. Everyone deals with that.
especially in your 20s when you're trying lots of new things.
Putting yourself out there.
They have a really cool way of looking at it. They say, see rejection as redirection.
Redirection. Okay, I'm listening.
Not every opportunity is meant for you. Sometimes rejection is a sign that something even better is waiting for you.
So it's not a dead end. It's like a detour
Exactly.
leading you somewhere else.
You got it.
I like that perspective.
It takes the sting out a bit, right?
Yeah, definitely.
They also talk about building resilience.
That comes up a lot.
It's a key theme.
Learning from your experiences, not letting rejection define you.
Or derail your dreams.
Just keep moving forward.
Okay, let's talk about something that can make a huge difference.
What's that?
Self-confidence.
Self-confidence. Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
It is.
Especially in your 20s when you're trying to figure things out.
And they're not talking about arrogance or ego. It's about truly believing in yourself, your abilities, knowing you're worthy.
I see.
Focus on your strengths, celebrate what you've accomplished, surround yourself with supportive people.
Those people who cheer you on believe in you
Exactly.
and push you to step outside your comfort zone.
Yes. Take risks. Prove to yourself you can do more than you think.
I like that.
Okay, let's talk about mindset.
Mindset. Okay.
Developing a positive outlook.
Not just pretending everything's perfect,
No, not at all.
but choosing to focus on the good,
Yes.
practicing gratitude, approaching challenges with optimism.
Believing you can overcome them.
That makes a big difference.
It does.
How you approach things.
Surround yourself with positive people. Do things you enjoy, practice mindfulness,
All those things that help you feel good.
and they emphasize your thoughts have power.
Thoughts have power.
What you think shapes your reality. You can choose to think positively, even when things are tough.
It's a choice.
It is.
Okay, let's talk about mentors and role models
Those people who inspire you,
who've achieved what you want to achieve.
and they can offer guidance, support.
Like having a map for the journey.
And it doesn't have to be some formal program. Find people in your field or areas you're interested in, reach out to them, ask for advice, even just learn from their experiences.
Mentors can come from anywhere.
They can.
A friend, a family member, even someone you admire from afar.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's talk about something that's pretty important in the digital age.
What's that?
Building your personal brand.
Oh, yeah. That's a big one these days.
And it's not about becoming an influencer or chasing followers.
Right. It's deeper than that.
It's about showing the world who you are, what you're good at, what you stand for.
And doing it authentically.
Being genuine, letting your personality shine through.
They suggest creating a strong online presence. Networking, sharing your expertise, maybe through writing, speaking, whatever makes sense for you.
Connecting with people on a human level.
Exactly. Okay, here's something that's crucial for success in any field.
I'm all ears.
Continuous learning.
Always be learning. I like it.
It's not just about getting more degrees or certificates. It's about being curious, wanting to learn new things, always growing.
Having a growth mindset.
Exactly.
So like reading books, taking courses, attending workshops.
Listening to podcasts even.
Anything that expands your knowledge helps you become a more well-rounded person.
They emphasize being a lifelong learner.
Learning is a journey, not a destination.
I love that. Okay, this one's all about joy and fulfillment.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
Pursuing your passion.
Your passions, yeah.
Those things that light you up, make you feel alive, give you purpose.
It doesn't matter if you're not a natural at it.
No, not at all.
If it brings you joy, Do it.
Experiment, try different hobbies, take classes, join groups, make time for the things you love.
Even if you're not an expert.
Following your curiosity, that's key.
It is.
Okay, let's get real about something that can be a struggle.
What's that?
Time management.
Oh, time management, everyone's enemy.
It can feel impossible, especially in your 20s, with so much going on.
So much to do, so little time.
And they're not saying become some productivity robot.
Right.
It's about finding a system that works for you.
That's key. What works for one person might not work for another.
Prioritize your tasks, set realistic goals.
Don't try to do everything at once.
They talk about figuring out your peak productivity times.
Those times a day when you're most focused, energized.
Use those times for your most important tasks.
Makes sense.
And take breaks.
Breaks are important.
They're
To recharge, come back fresh.
Avoid multitasking. That just makes you less effective.
Oh, so true.
Create a schedule that allows for both work and rest.
Work-life balance.
Exactly.
Okay, let's talk about support systems.
Support systems, yeah.
Those people you can rely on.
More than just having lots of friends or followers online.
Right. It's about quality, not quantity.
Meaningful connections with people who believe in you, support you, who you can be yourself around.
People who make you feel good.
Exactly.
And who you can count on.
Nurture those relationships, make time for them, be there for them like you'd want them to be there for you.
That's what makes a strong support system.
Okay, let's talk about attitude.
Attitude.
Developing a positive one.
That makes a big difference.
It really does.
Not ignoring the challenges,
No.
but choosing to focus on the good. Practicing gratitude. Being optimistic.
Approaching difficulties with the belief that you can handle them.
I like that.
They talk about positive self-talk.
Like being your own cheerleader. Replacing negative thoughts with more positive ones.
Surround yourself with positive influences. Find joy in the little things. Celebrate your wins
Focus on what you can control.
instead of dwelling on what you can't.
That's good advice.
Now, this is a powerful concept.
Tell me more.
Taking ownership of your life.
Ownership. Okay.
Realizing that you're in charge of your story.
You're the author,
Exactly.
not the character.
You have the power to create the life you want.
I like that.
It's empowering.
It is.
Set goals. Take action. Be accountable for your choices.
Don't blame others. Take responsibility
Believe in yourself. Embrace your strengths. Pursue your passions.
with confidence and determination.
Okay, let's talk about something that can feel daunting.
What's that?
Navigating the world of work, figuring out your career.
Oh, yeah, that can be tough.
It can be. And it's not just about finding any job.
Right.
It's about finding something that aligns with your values, your interests, your skills.
Something you actually enjoy doing. So the podcast is saying explore different options.
Yes, network. Seek out mentors. Try different things.
See what fits.
Be adaptable because the job market is always changing.
Always changing.
Okay, this one's important for long-term security and freedom.
What's that?
Financial habits.
Money stuff again.
It's crucial.
It's not about getting rich quick.
No.
It's about managing your money wisely, saving, making smart choices.
They suggest starting simple, budget, track expenses, set financial goals.
Understand how investing works, build an emergency fund, plan for retirement.
All those things that set you up for success.
Makes you feel more secure.
Okay, let's talk about something that brings so much richness to life.
What's that?
Meaningful relationships.
Oh, relationships. Those are important.
They are.
And it's not just about having tons of friends or romantic partners.
It's about quality, not quantity.
Deep, authentic connections with people who bring joy, support, love.
Be intentional about who you spend your time with.
Nurture those relationships. Be present.
Well-
Show up for each other.
Communication is key. Being vulnerable, sharing experiences, that's what builds strong bonds.
Makes sense.
Okay, this one's an ongoing journey.
Oh, tell me more.
Personal growth.
Personal growth. I like that.
It's about always striving to be better, learn more, develop new skills, evolve as a person.
Never stop growing.
Set personal growth goals, seek out opportunities, challenge yourself.
Always be learning.
Reflect on your experiences, be mindful, step outside your comfort zone.
Sounds like a lifelong process.
It is.
Okay, let's talk about the foundation for all of this.
What's that?
Self-awareness.
Self-awareness, yeah, that's huge.
Understanding your values, strengths, weaknesses, what motivates you.
Who you are at your core.
That's deep.
It is.
So how do you develop that?
They suggest introspection, reflecting on your experiences, asking for feedback.
Being honest with yourself about
Exactly.
what you really want.
And it's an ongoing process, not a one-time thing.
Like you keep learning more about yourself.
Mindfulness, journaling, just paying attention to your thoughts and feelings.
Those are all good tools.
Okay, this one's crucial for everything else to work.
What is it?
Taking care of your physical and mental health.
Health is wealth, they say.
It's more than just going to the gym and eating your veggies.
Right, there's more to it.
It's about prioritizing your well-being, making choices that support your health, both physical and mental.
And asking for help when you need it.
Exactly. They talk about healthy habits.
Exercise, balanced diet, enough sleep, managing stress.
Addressing mental health concerns, going to therapy if you need to, creating a supportive environment for yourself.
It all ties together.
Okay, now for something that can be both exciting and frustrating,
What's that?
dating and relationships.
Oh yeah, that can be a roller coaster.
It can. They're realistic about it. Finding the right partner takes time, effort, and being vulnerable.
Putting yourself out there.
Approach dating with an open mind. Be curious. Learn from your experiences.
Don't be afraid to try and fail.
Know your worth. Set boundaries. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Don't settle. Good advice.
Okay, here's something that's a part of life, but especially in your 20s.
What is it?
Embracing failure.
Failure. Okay.
Not as a defeat, but as a learning opportunity.
I like that perspective.
It's about shifting your mindset.
See setbacks as feedback.
Exactly.
Analyze your mistakes, learn from them.
And use those lessons to improve.
Get better next time.
Be kind to yourself. Everyone makes mistakes.
It's part of the process.
Celebrate the fact that you're trying new things, putting yourself out there.
That takes courage.
Okay, let's talk about something that brings joy and fulfillment.
What's that?
Pursuing your passions.
Your passions, yeah, those are important.
They are.
Do things that light you up, make you feel alive.
Give you a sense of purpose.
Even if you're not an expert,
Experiment, try new hobbies, take classes, join groups.
make time for those things that bring you joy.
Follow your curiosity.
That's where the magic happens.
Okay, this one's crucial for managing your time, energy, and attention.
What is it?
Setting boundaries.
Boundaries, okay?
Recognizing that you can't do it all.
Right. We all have limits.
You have limited time and energy
It's okay to say no.
to commitments, requests, even people who drain you.
Protect your time and energy.
Identify your non-negotiables.
Those things that are essential for your well-being.
and protect them fiercely,
Communicate your boundaries clearly.
both personally and professionally.
Makes a big difference.
It does. Okay, let's talk about something that's fundamental to a happy life.
It's that
A healthy relationship with yourself.
yourself. That's an interesting one.
It is.
How do you do that?
Treat yourself with kindness, compassion, respect, like you would a good friend.
Be your own best friend.
Exactly.
Accept yourself, flaws and all.
Practice self-care. Nourish your soul. Speak to yourself kindly.
No more negative self-talk.
Forgive yourself. You're human. You're going to make mistakes.
Mistakes are part of learning.
Okay, let's talk about adventure.
Adventure, okay.
Cultivating a sense of wonder, embracing new experiences.
Trying new things, stepping outside your comfort zone.
Approach life with curiosity and excitement.
Like every day is a new discovery.
Try new things, explore new places, challenge yourself.
Be open to the unexpected.
Embrace the journey wherever it takes you.
Sounds exciting.
It is. Okay, back to the real world for a sec.
What's that?
Navigating the world of work, figuring out your career path.
That can be a winding road.
It can. They encourage you to see it as an exploration.
Not a straight line.
It's okay to change course, to pivot if you find something new you're passionate about.
So explore different options.
Network, seek mentors, experiment, see what fits.
Always be learning. Be adaptable.
Because the job market is always changing.
Okay, let's talk about something that's crucial for long-term financial security.
What's that?
Building strong financial habits.
Money management.
It's not about getting rich quick.
It's about managing your money wisely, saving for the future, making informed decisions.
Start with the basics.
Budget, track expenses, set goals.
Understand investing, build an emergency fund, plan for retirement.
All those things that set you up for success.
Give you peace of mind.
Okay, let's talk about something that brings so much joy to life.
What's that?
Building meaningful relationships.
Relationships, they're the spice of life.
And it's not just about having lots of friends or partners.
Right. It's about the deep connections.
Cultivate those relationships, be present, show up for each other.
Communication is key.
Yeah.
Vulnerability, shared experiences.
Okay, this one's an ongoing process.
What is it? Host.
It's about understanding your values, strengths, weaknesses, what motivates you.
Who you are at your core.
Exactly.
Deep stuff.
It is.
So how do you develop that self-awareness?
They suggest introspection, reflecting on your experiences, asking for feedback from others, being honest with yourself about what you truly want out of life.
And it's not a one-time thing,
Right?
right?
It's an ongoing journey.
You keep learning more about yourself as you go.
Exactly.
Through mindfulness, journaling, just paying attention to your thoughts and feelings.
All good tools.
They are...
Okay, this next one is crucial for everything else to work.
What's that?
Taking care of your physical and mental health.
Oh, health, that's a big one.
It is. And it's more than just hitting the gym and eating your veggies, though those are important.
Right, there's more to it than that.
It's about really prioritizing your well-being, making choices that support your health, both physical and mental, and knowing when to ask for help.
Asking for help is important.
It is. They talk about healthy habits like regular exercise, a balanced diet, getting enough sleep, and managing stress. They also talk about addressing mental health concerns, seeing a therapist if you need to, and creating a supportive environment for yourself, surrounding yourself with people who lift you up.
It all ties together, doesn't it?
Yes, it really does. Okay, now, for something that can be both exciting and a little bit scary, especially in your 20s.
Okay.
Dating and relationships.
Relationships, always a fun topic.
They can be.
And a little messy sometimes.
They can definitely be messy.
Especially in your 20s.
The podcast is pretty realistic about it, though.
Oh, good.
They acknowledge that finding the right partner takes time, effort, and a willingness to be vulnerable, to put yourself out there.
And it doesn't always work out, does
It
it?
doesn't, and that's okay. They encourage you to approach dating with an open mind, be curious, learn from your experiences, both good and bad. And most importantly, know your worth, set boundaries, and don't settle for a relationship that doesn't make you happy.
Don't settle. Good advice.
It is. Okay, this next one might seem a little negative at first, but it's actually really empowering.
What is it?
Embracing failure.
Failure.
Okay,
Not as a defeat, but as a learning opportunity.
I like that.
It's about shifting your perspective, seeing setbacks as feedback, analyzing your mistakes, and using those lessons to get better.
So it's not the end of the world if you mess up,
It's not. It's just part of the process.
as long as you learn from it.
Exactly. And remember to be kind to yourself.
Self-compassion is important.
It is. Celebrate the fact that you're trying new things, that you're putting yourself out there, even if it doesn't always go as planned. That takes courage.
It does. Okay, let's talk about something that can bring so much joy and fulfillment to your life.
What's that?
Pursuing your passions.
Passions. Those were good.
They are. Those things that light you up, make you feel alive, give you a sense of purpose, even if you're not a natural at them.
So it's not about being good at something. It's about loving it.
Exactly. Experiment with different hobbies, take classes, join groups, make time for the things you enjoy.
Follow your curiosity.
Exactly. Okay, now, for something that can be a bit of a struggle for a lot of us,
What's that?
setting boundaries.
Boundaries. Oh, yeah, those are important.
Recognizing that you can't do it all, that you have limited time and energy,
You can't please everyone all the time.
and that's okay.
It is. It's okay to say no sometimes.
It's essential. They talk about identifying your non-negotiables, those things that are absolutely essential for your well-being and your success.
And then protecting those things
Yeah.
fiercely
Exactly.
and communicating your boundaries clearly, both in your personal life and at work. It makes a huge difference in how you feel and how people treat you.
It does. Okay, let's talk about something that's fundamental to a happy life.
What's that?
Cultivating a healthy relationship with yourself.
With yourself. Okay, this sounds interesting.
It is. It's about treating yourself with the same kindness, compassion, and respect that you would treat a good friend.
Be your own best friend.
Exactly. Accept yourself for who you are, flaws and all.
We all have flaws.
Practice self-care, engage in activities that nourish your soul, and most importantly, speak to yourself kindly.
No more negative self-talk.
Exactly. And remember to forgive yourself.
We all make mistakes.
We do. It's part of being human. Okay, let's end on a fun note.
What's that?
Cultivating a sense of adventure.
Adventure, I like that.
Embrace new experiences, step outside your comfort zone, approach life with curiosity and excitement.
Like every day is a new opportunity.
Try new things, explore new places, challenge yourself to grow.
Be open to the unexpected. Let life surprise you.
Exactly. And remember, it's about the journey, not the destination.
Enjoy the ride.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive into winning your 20s, I think the biggest takeaway is that this decade is an incredible time of opportunity, a time for growth, exploration, self-discovery, and even a little bit of adventure along the way.
Sounds like an exciting time.
It is. It really is. It can be overwhelming for sure. But remember, you don't have to have it all figured out right now.
Take it one step at a time.
Exactly.
Embrace the uncertainty, trust the process, and enjoy the journey.
Words to live by. So as we leave you to ponder all this wisdom, I have one final question for you.
Okay, what is it?
What's one small step you can take today, no matter where you are in your 20s, to move closer to the life you want to create?
Even a small step can make a big difference over time.
It can.